Is actually a bit more complicated than they make it out to be. And I've been experimenting with the idea of putting multiple frequency detection systems per track, because what they've been doing, it seems like, is there's always a two-way channel of communication. But really, there's multiple channels of communication, many more in fact, because the vocal has to communicate with the drums, the bass, the residual, and those elements all have to communicate vice versa. So anyway, here's an example of how complicated this is. I have 3 MSpectralDynamics on one channel, which I highly wouldn't recommend. It's a very intensive application. And I've captured the basic essence of the vocal. So anyway, it's a really terrible render, but I wanted to give an example here of the 3 different spectrums that are going on. So it's listening to these 3 different tracks. There's nothing here. Okay, now there's bass coming in. So we can see that there's bass. So in a nutshell, here's what this does. When you have all of these frequencies going simultaneously, you can see where your actual capture for your main source is, and so you can see what's overlapping spectrally. So we have a little overlap here in this track, and in this one we have all of this overlap, and in this one we have all of this overlap. So we can see that sorry, on this last one I have the wrong setting, my bad. So here's the example again. So this would be the drums. So we see a pulsing. I can turn that off actually. Oh Lord. So we have a pulsing happening with the drum. And basically with the drum, let's say for instance, this is the vocal over here. And this is all drums pounding away. And I can see that all of this is sort of interfering with the vocal's frequency spectrum. So this is just to give an idea, like in this case, you could literally draw in where to carve out or to process this drum sound and increase or decrease depending on which way you're going for your spectral unmasking. So anyway, that's one track. And let's assume you have like 8 tracks or whatever, or maybe you're doing the basic 4 tracks, which is what I've done here. So each of these would have to be set up to listen to the multiple channels so that you could see how backing would interfere with vocal, how bass would interfere with vocal, and how drum would interfere with vocal. And then on the drum channel, you would see how vocal would interfere with drum, and bass would interfere with drum, and backing would interfere with drum. And so each of those, you carving out additional frequencies that are overlapping in all of those ranges, but preserving as much information as possible to retain the integrity of the original capture.